In this video, we're going to dive into plasticity, which is something I haven't done in a while. And I'm going to show you 10 absolutely amazing tips and tricks for hard surface modeling in plasticity. Let's get started. So the first one is going to be tapering. And tapering is done in plasticity through drafting. So the very basic way of drafting is when you select a face and you insert it and you drop it down. And if you wanted to taper these edges, right, you can't do it just like you would normally do it in Blender by scaling the edges or scaling the faces. You can't do it. It will not work, right? So what you do is you draft it based off of a reference face. So you select the reference face, you select the face with shift you want to draft, press F, go to draft face, so type here draft face, and then you use this gizmo here, the circle, to draft the face, okay? Now, but that's a very simple way of drafting because you have only one face here in the middle. But what if things are a bit more complicated, right? So now let's grab the square here, the cube, press C to draw it in the middle. And let's just squash this. Let's go to edges, bevel them, and we're going to offset this. And then I'm going to drop it down. And now let me show you. So if I select this face and select this one, for drafting, right? And I'm gonna run the same command. It will work, but not the way I want it to work, because it's gonna draft just this face. It's a cool effect, but not what I wanted. So if you wanted to draft, this edge in the middle here, you have to select with shift all these faces around this face in the middle, okay? All of them, right? Once you do that, go to F, draft face, and then use the gizmo and Bob Janko. Now, here's a cool trick, okay? If I'm gonna grab this face in the middle, I'll show you two cool things in here. So watch this. If I'm gonna offset this, you see we're gonna lose this bevel here. You see that? Watch. It's gonna change to a corner, right? Bevel, corner. Just like in Blender, right? When the edges collapse. So what you wanna do is you want to insert it, then approve this, then select the face, Ctrl 2 to select the edges, press O again, and when you outset it, it's gonna shift back to a bevel, okay? Just cool trick for you, so you know. Okay, boom. Let's just extrude it up, right? And now let's say I wanted to draft this face here in the bottom, right? So now you have to do the reverse. So select the face, shift select all these faces around here. So these, right? Okay, then go to F, draft face, and then you can draft it here like this. Boom, okay? There you go. Now, next step is gonna be regarding measurements in plasticity. If you didn't know, plasticity introduced measurements, but that's not what I wanna show you. I wanna show you how you can use this tool to unify cuts on your mesh. So let's say we had Boolean cuts running on this mesh, right? I'm just gonna use the same mesh. So you have a small cut here, then we have like a larger cut somewhere here, right? And shallow. And then we have, like a, I don't know, like a, let's make it actually smaller or larger, whatever, like this, right? Something like that. Now, if I wanted to unify the depth of this cut, that's really easy. I select all the faces, right? And I simply unify them to whichever one I want, right? That's easy. But what if you wanted to unify the size of them, the diameter? That's a little bit more complicated. Now, what you can do, you can use the measurement tool for it. So watch. I'm gonna select the faces I wanna adjust. Then I'm gonna select the face I wanna adjust to, so the size of it, right? So this diameter. And I'm gonna press equals on the keyboard, right? And left click and right click, and I'm done. So they're all gonna adjust to the last selected, right? So if I wanted to, for example, have this one, I can select this one, this one, this one, and then equals, left, right, boom. It's a cool trick, isn't it? Next step is really cool, and it's going to allow you to bridge two shapes with a perfect bevel with perfect sizes. And this is something I didn't have back when I was recording the plasticity course. I wish I had it. And by the way, the course is only now available through the coaching program. And speaking of coaching, if you're interested in getting any help from us, then you can book a call with us. And if you need help with rendering, workflows, tool sets, plasticity, Blender, transitioning from another software, etc., then you can simply book a call with us, and we're gonna hop on a call, have a chat, and see if we can help you. So go ahead, book a call. The link is in the video description. By the way, going back to this to this, you know, trick here. So watch this, right? This is really cool. So when I'm going to select all these edges, right, and bevel them, and I'm going to boolean these two shapes, so QQ and apply it, right? Now, if I wanted to combine them with a bevel, okay, so I click here and run the bevel, you see that the bevel size is a bit different here, right? And that's because of the algorithm, how it runs by default. Now, what you could do, you could press V and, you know, you could just run a variable bevel here and you could start adjusting this, but you're never gonna get a, you know, perfectly aligned bevel, right? So what you want to do, you want to use the new tool, which is called bridge surfaces. So go to object mode and go to F and type bridge surfaces here. And what you want to do is you want to get closer to this edge. You want to click and drag your mouse. So click and release and drag and click and boom. I mean, this is magic. You know what I mean? This is so cool. I'm absolutely loving this. So this is one of the coolest features, and it's going to save you so much time. Before we had to, like, you know, run a pipe. So let me show you, right? We had to before do this, press P for pipe, then, you know, cut this, then remove this entire thing here, and then we had to bridge it through lofting. It was really annoying, right? You had to draw isoparams, edges. It was a nightmare. This is absolutely brilliant. One of the best features introduced recently to Plasticity. Now, next trick is really cool as well. It's really useful when you're drawing shapes on a floor using curves, and you basically, you know, playing with surfacing, right? So this is the bread and butter of Plasticity, right? Surfacing. So let's just grab a circle in here, and I'm going to duplicate it somewhere here, make it smaller. Then I'm gonna grab some edges, and we're gonna run some tangent edges here, right? So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna select all these shapes here, all these circles and the curves. And I'll press E for extrusion. I'm gonna start extruding, and while this tool is active, I'm gonna press Shift T, and it's going to switch to solidification, which is really cool. So you can kind of change the way you're gonna be, you know, designing this shape. Instead of designing based off of the middle part, you kind of solidifying it outside, right? So you're defining the height, and then you're solidifying the shell, which is really cool. Now, next one is absolutely brilliant as well. So let me show you, right? Let me just nuke these curves here. So let's just draw a shape here and some kind of a, you know, box, whatever. That's fine. We can scale this a little bit on y-axis, right? And I'm gonna run some bevels here to make it a bit more interesting, okay? Something like that. Cool. Okay, now let's say I wanted to create grooves across the shape and I wanted to cut them into the shape. Let's say we're creating, I don't know, a gun handle or whatever, right? So what we're gonna do is we're going to grab a curve and we're gonna first draw the shape we wanted, right? So Alt Z to see through, and you can also snap to the line here, because if Alt Z is not enabled, you have to go past the shape to snap to the 0 degrees, right? So Alt Z, you can snap here, and let's just do something like this, and boom, right? Then let's select these two and bevel them, all right? So now with this shape, let's just bring it here in front. What we're gonna do, we're gonna wrap it around the shape. So we're gonna project it and wrap it around. So watch. I'm gonna deselect this, right? I'm gonna go here, and we're gonna go to project, okay? So project and click that. And we're gonna click the body, and then we're gonna click the curve. Now, we only have half of the projection, but if you uncheck this here, hide occluded elements, it's going to project and kind of conform to the surface all around, right? So now you can nuke this one, grab this curve, and now you can array this up like this, okay? Then we can press P for pipes, right? Then we can select this shape and press Q and simply hold Shift, and you can select all these shapes here, confirm this, there you go. Then we're gonna press 2, select all of them, B for bevel, and I'm gonna try to bevel them. That's a chamfer. Let's go the other way. There we go. And Bob Jonko, Control E. Let's nuke all these curves. So let's select the curves. Whoops, let's just do it here. Select all, nuke, there you go. And it's really easy to do this, and you can conform them to any shape you really want. And this is so easy to do, it's just crazy, right? Now, next one is gonna be raise degree, and this is cool, but I wanna show you a trick with this tool as well. So raise degree is a very powerful tool which allows you to bend faces, okay? So if you have, for example, something like this, right? What you can do is you can select a face and you can press Shift S to subdivide it, and you will see number of verts here. You can select them by holding Alt. So you're gonna select the whole line here or here, like the whole loop. Or you can use the B selection, right? So B selection, then you can press G, and you can deform them, you can scale them, you can rotate them, right? You can do whatever the hell you want, okay? So you have a lot of, you know, room for maneuver, right? Now, here's a cool thing. Now watch this. See, for example, this vert here, right? Let's grab this one. Is slanted, okay? So it's not following the global orientation. So when I press G, I want to move it. I can move it all right, but it doesn't allow me to move it on the normals. So what you want to do, you want to press Shift G, okay? This is going to conform to all the normals of these edges around this vert, right? So that I can move this in literally any direction you want based off of these edges, right? And this is really cool, okay? So you don't compromise your surface, you just simply move the vert a bit to the left, to the right, right? So that's really fantastic, gives you a lot of control over these points, okay? Now, next one is gonna be for mirrors, and this one is, this one is juicy. So check this out, this is really cool. Again, it reminds me of the course, and like the course for Plasticity I recorded is so cool, and there's so many amazing tips for surfacing, Boolean workflow, etc. But it's it's a course, right? But coaching is something much better, because then you can ask questions, DM us personally, privately, and ask questions when you get stuck, and so on and so forth. This is just so much, better than just watching a course or going through a course. Doesn't matter how good the course is, it will never replace, personal coaching. So again, if you're interested in getting better in Plasticity, Blender, or solving any of your problems that you may be having with hard surface modeling, schedule a call with us, and we're gonna have a chat and see if we can help you. Again, the link is in the video description, but check this out. So if I'm going to go here and I'm going to cut this, right? So I'm going to cut this shape here with a Boolean, okay? And let me just mirror this so it's actually perfectly mirrored here like this, QQ, boom, right? So now, let's say that I had another shape here. So I'm going to grab this face, I'm going to Shift D this, okay? And I'm going to go to Shift F, and I'm going to thicken this, okay? And I'm going to cut this in the middle, all right? So I'm going to grab another curve, and I'm going to cut it in the middle here, right? So cut this in the middle and nuke this one, okay? And I'm going to also cut this somewhere here like this, okay? So, and nuke this one, okay? And nuke this, cool. So now we got only this, this element here. That's the only one we're having. I can even run some bevels here on this one, and then run some bevels here so we can see it a little bit better, okay? Or maybe some chamfer, right? Cool. So now watch. I'm in the middle of the world, which means mirroring is very easy, because I select the shape, Alt-X, and I click here, and I'm done, right? But here's where things get a little bit more interesting. If I wanted to mirror this downwards, I would need to use the F command, because if I mirror it now, I'm just gonna, gonna pop here in the bottom, because it mirrors across this, the X-axis or Y-axis, right? So what you can do, you can enable construction plane and mirror through that. But what I want to do is I want to show you something extra, right? Extra cool. So if I move this outside of the origin point, origin of the world, if I press Alt-X, the gizmo is going to be here. I will need to press F and then, start fiddling with it and trying to mirror this, and it's going to be a bit annoying. But what you can do again, you can select this face here in the middle, which is basically symmetrical in terms of this object, because it's the object is laying on the left half of the left hand side and the top, right? So it's just 1/4 of this whole plane. So I'm going to select this plane and press space to enable construction plane. Now press 4, select this object, and watch Alt-X and then Y, right? So you can mirror whichever way you want across. So basically, Plasticity is using the construction plane as a pivot point for the mirror. So Alt-X and then approve it, Alt-X and Y and approve it, and you're done. And then you simply cancel construction plane and you continue modeling. So when you want to model something that's off center, away from the origin of the world, and you don't want to fiddle with the F command, then use the construction plane in Bob's your uncle. Now next one's gonna be super amazing. I really can't wait for, you know, to use this in actually a real like modeling. So let's grab a plane here and Shift A, and let's grab an edge here running like this, okay? And we're going to grab these two and we're gonna bevel them, okay? So B and bevel them. Peachy, right? Now, on the side here, I'm gonna create a profile. So I'm gonna grab another curve and I'm gonna make a profile. Let's just zoom in here and I'm gonna make something like this, like this, like this. Maybe let me just go here like this and all the way here, right? And approve it. Cool. Now I'm gonna make it a bit smaller. So just, you know, scale it a bit like this, okay? Cool. That works. Maybe a little bit bigger. It cannot be larger than this thickness of this element here of this floor. So we're gonna grab this curve, right? We're gonna press P for pipe. We're gonna make this pipe a little bit larger, okay? Then we're gonna select the body. So click here and select the body. Then select the profile and watch this. Boom. Now you got the profile running through that pipe. How cool is that? That's pretty awesome, isn't it? So there you go, you can create some really custom crazy shapes like this with ease, okay? And they're gonna swoop across the curve. Next tool is sweeping, and you can sweep curves across curves, but recently they added a new feature, you can sweep solids as well, and this is really cool. So watch this. I'm gonna grab this shape here and just, you know, create something like that. Maybe we're just gonna, you know, click here to create this one and maybe create some, I don't know, some chamfer here in the bottom, whatever. And that will do. And then we're gonna go to the top view and we're gonna create another curve here on top, okay? So I'm just gonna run a curve here. In fact, let's just grab this curve. It's gonna be easier. Whoops, one more time. Or maybe we're gonna grab this curve. Something like this, right? And then we're gonna grab these points. I'm gonna bevel them, right? And then it's important that the top of this object matches the elevation with the first point of this curve, okay? So we're going to press 4 and F and then go to sweep and then use sweep tool and then select this object, put this gizmo on top of it and then select the curve and boom, right? You get this. And then what you can do, you can grab this one, right? And for example, radial array it like that. It's pretty peachy, you know? That was pretty quick. Plasticity is amazing for stuff like this. It's really, really amazing. So there you go. Awesome. And the last tip is gonna be overlapping edges selection. Well, this one is really useful when you're modeling, okay? So watch this. Let's say I have a cube, right? And I'm going to mirror this cube in the middle, okay? So Alt X and mirror it. Now, if I'm going to mirror it in the middle, like this, I'm gonna get two halves. Now, let's say you wanted to select one of these edges, okay? You really can't see which one you're selecting. There are two edges in here, and you don't know which one is which, right? So you kind of like blindly select one, and you're hoping you're gonna select the right one, okay? Now, there's a new tool. When you hover over an edge, hold Shift and Control and click, right? And you're gonna see a kind of like a menu, and if you hover over each of these, it's gonna highlight the object that this edge belongs to. So this is left, this is right. So if I wanna select the right edge, I go here and click. And when I chamfer this, boom, the right edge gets chamfered. So this is really useful for modeling, especially when you can't tell which edge is which and you can't just select them, you know. And you would need to, you know, hide one object, go back, chamfer, go back, unhide. It's just annoying, right? This tool is fantastic. So use it. Well, that's the last tip. Thanks for watching. And, you know, like I said, if you're interested in coaching, give us a call. The link is in the video description and tell us your problem. And if we can help you, then we can talk about it. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.